Our next guests are the dynamic duo from Tilt and King Real Estate. Please welcome real estate experts Rebecca Tilt and Katie King.
All right, welcome to the show. Here they are, both. King and Tilt are here today.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate your time. Important element to the real estate game that is not really talked about very often, the whole idea of networking with agents. I wonder how important that is for homeowners to know, especially when they're signing up someone to sell their house or if they're trying to buy in a seller's market like this. Tell us, what do people need to know about the networking element?
Well, it's really important and beneficial, not just for our business to know other agents and agents to know us and doing it for our clients, but it is for our clients, most importantly, because I think that the more people and the more agents that you know, the better it is for your clients. Because when you're in a position where you've got, you're working for your clients who are the buyers, and sellers have 3 offers on the table, and they're not sure which one to take, you're always going to have just that extra edge, because the agent for the seller is going to say, hey, you know what, we've worked with Katie or Rebecca, with both of them, and they've done a tremendous job in the last transaction. They were thorough, they were communicative. The whole transaction from start to finish was beneficial and good for all parties involved. Go with their offers because we know how they work. So it's only a benefit to our clients.
Yeah, and they know that, when we do network with them and they know who we are, they know that we come with, good clients, and that we come with people that are legit and that are going to come to the table and come through with the transaction. So it's always
also
good for that.
It's also important just from the standpoint of knowing what's going on, right? Especially in a hot seller's market, right? I mean, if you are communicating with other agents about what your buyer's needs are, you might get that phone call before that home hits the MLS.
And that's very true. And it's also good to know to network. We do a thing every area of San Diego. It's called Caravan, and it's an opportunity for agents in those areas to go and pitch their properties that are going to be open for just agents that day, but also for properties that are coming up on the market. So we've done that several times. We just had a property that we pitched at Caravan to other agents, and they came over and said, hey, you know what, we've got clients that are ready to go that want to see the property. We showed it to them, and it actually worked for our sellers because they were already stressed out about just the whole concept of putting it on the market and having to go through the whole thing. They got top dollar, the top of the purchase price, and they were happy. And then everyone got to get a property without it even having to hit the market. So networking before it hits the market too is
playing
beneficial.
on that note, like you said, even the other agents giving us a call. It's always nice for us how when we have a property and we're door knocking, we're finding things off market, for us to actually call the key players in our neighborhood, letting them know, so we're reaching out and going beyond for them, so they know that when something like that happens, they'll call us, and so they'll have that same respect.
So how do I, let's talk on the home seller side first. It's a hot market. You're starting to see, for sale by owners pop back up again, right? That's always the sign in my mind. When I see, like a handwritten sign on the side of the road that says house for sale, and an arrow, I'm like, okay, oh boy. That's like a sign. That's like a sign that maybe the market's getting too high, or maybe it's a sign that people are thinking that real estate's gotten easy again. But when you start to see those things happen, not only is it something where traditional home sellers need to pay attention to it, but they also need to be asking extra questions of the agents that they are interviewing. So what questions should a home seller be asking their agent in regards to the networking element right now?
Well, I think it's really important when you're selling your property to have an agent that knows the area. First and foremost is what's going on in the market, what are we seeing, what trends are we seeing, and obviously providing comparables of what's selling. So getting an idea of, here's the criteria of your property, your square footage, your condition, your area, and providing them information of what's going on in the market in the last 6 months. We know that markets go up and down. That's just the reality of any kind of market. So we have had low inventory. This summer we've had just a little bit more because it's summertime. People like to put their house on the market. So with that said, it's really good to provide sellers the information that you need to know where to price it and how to price it, and then kind of how many days on average houses are being sitting on the market for them to know.
I also think that, just playing on that, making sure that they know that we are involved in the community and that we do know agents, that we can talk with them and make sure that they know that we're communicating with all the agents in the community and making sure that we have, those relationships so that we can sell their property for top dollar and get it out there.
Because a lot of, right now, a lot of home sellers are being pitched on a lot of different marketing methods, right, to get top dollar. That's what everybody wants.
Right.
Marketing methods like digital marketing or doing this circle marketing or whatever they call it in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But how important would you say it is to market it to agents directly versus just to potential buyers?
Oh man, you got to sell it to agents first and foremost because they're the ones working for their clients.
Yeah,
they're
sure,
the ones working for buyers. I mean, really, that's how it is. So when you have clients that are looking for a certain type of property in a certain type of area at a purchase price, you most of the time, most agents, what they do is put them on a search through the MLS, which is better than Zillow, Realtor.com. It's the most accurate, it's the most immediate. So what you're doing is you're having these agents putting their clients on a search, and those agents are doing their due diligence for their buyers and looking for the right property. They're they're going to Caravan, they're going to networking events, listening for something coming up on the market, like we do. We're like, oh, we found someone pitched a property and it's coming up.
Yeah.
We'll go straight to that agent and say, hey, we've got clients that are looking for a property, what you just said. Is there any way we can see it before? So it's really important to pitch it to agents first because they're representing their buyers.
Yeah.
So would you say a legitimate question then for home sellers right now would be to ask their agent, how are you going to market my property to other agents?
Yeah. That's a huge part
Or
of the marketing.
what comes along with it. Yeah, absolutely.
So when we go on listing presentations, we obviously say we give our marketing presentation of what we're going to do for their house and how we're going to stage it and have it cleaned, all of our different components of what we do, send out just listed postcards. We've got a whole marketing piece that we present in our listing presentation. But what is very, very important that unfortunately, a lot of agents forget to do is to put it on Caravan, which is, again, in that area every single day of the week. Well, one day a week, there's a time when agents come together, pitch their properties, off-market properties, and then they hold it open so agents can come in and view it. And then it's also a good time for other agents to come in and give their feedback because maybe they don't have a buyer, but then they can come in. This happens every Thursday or every week. You come and you say, hey, this is a really great property. The price, I'm feeling like the price is maybe too high, and then it's an opportunity for you to be like, well, I saw this comparable or whatever. So it's a good time to talk to the agents and give feedback because we all want that.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times seller might, when you hire an agent and just to kind of, when you're pitching things and people get to know that me and Katie are always having off-market deals, other agents are going to be calling us prior to even knowing that we have anything, and they'll say, what do you have? What do you have available that's coming in your area, or what's coming available in OB? And so we can say, actually, we've got something on Saratoga coming up. And
how often does that happen? Like, how often does it? I mean, do you know a lot of times that properties are coming to sale?
For us, we door knock, so we are finding properties off market all the time. We door knock 3 to 4 times a week. So we are finding people and sellers that are just starting to think about selling, or we hit them at the right time and they're like, actually, we were thinking about selling in 2 weeks and we don't have an agent. And so, obviously then we make those steps to get to that point, and then we'll actually be door knocking and we'll find it where another agent has it.
Right,
and
exactly.
we'll be like, awesome, who's your agent? And then we'll give a call to the agent, and then so we'll not only have just different facets of finding properties off market, and we'll provide that to our agents, and that's why we do so well in our community, just because that's the reason why we.
Well, I guess in a lot of times too, when someone decides to sell their home, they may say, well, we want to sell it in like 3 or 4 months. We don't want to list it yet.
Right.
So then that would also be sort of like a coming soon type deal.
Yeah.
Right.
But you need an advantage. You need an edge as a buyer in this marketplace because the good properties, they get multiple offers. They get absolutely bombarded.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
We see it every single day. So I think that's another really good element is when you are not only networking with agents, but you're out there talking to sellers and buyers. I mean, again, we do it 3 or 4 times a week and saying, we're going to be selling something in 6 months. We can start getting our wheels turning and going, okay, great. Perfect. We have somebody that, exactly, we have somebody that is looking to buy at the end of the year that fits this description. Does that happen every time? No. But does it happen a lot? Yeah, it does. And it's just thinking. And then also having the opportunity, whether we list it or not, is not even the point. It's knowing it, being prepared, and then when the time comes that we can provide them a good buyer. Or if they wanted to use us, then going out and networking again.
And I think another thing that we do is that sometimes we might not have a buyer for that property that we door knock. We'll surely go and try to find it. But if we don't, we'll let other agents know, and we'll say, hey, we'll do a referral. If we tell you about this property off market, let's get a referral, and we'll give you the address. And so, not only are we helping other agents' clients by us door knocking, not even for our clients, we're helping theirs and just kind of sharing the wealth. So I think it's really important in that manner too, that gives us a good reputation for sharing and not being greedy and not being competitive with everybody else, but also just having good integrity and good practice in real estate and keeping a good name.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring, guys.
Let's
be
is.
honest.
Sharing is caring.
I have that tatted on my
So stupid.
Thank you guys so much for coming in today.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Tilt and King Real Estate here on Smarter San Diego
Thank
TV, our
you.
1-year anniversary.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. Stick around for more Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else, commercial free.